Hey everybody, Mr. Douglas. So today what I wanted to do is I wanted to just kind of go over some examples of different types of igneous rocks with everybody. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of examples. I'll talk to you a little bit about them, and this will hopefully give you at least a visual representation of different types of rocks. So the first rock I'm going to start with is something called scoria. I'll try to hold it up to the camera as best I can. Now this is scoria. You can tell scoria, maybe a little hard to make it out, but it's a reddish rock. It also is extrusive. So that means that it formed when it came out from below the Earth's surface. Um, a lot of times it is found next to another type of rock known as basalt. Um, and because it's near basalt, that means that it's formed when you have a rapidly cooling piece of lava that's blasted out of a volcano. So you get a lot of like holes and it feels very light to it. They use this particular rock scoria a lot of times in when they build roads and as they do landscaping. So again, this is scoria, extrusive rock formed very from fast cooling lava. Put that away. This one that I'm taking out next, this is called pumice. Um, pumice, you can't tell because it's on the screen, but it's a very light stone. If you buy one of those stones that you use in the bottom of your feet to scrape the bottom of your foot, this is one of those rocks that is going to be at the bottom of that you would use kind of to scrape the bottom of your foot. You can see again a lot of holes in here. Um, Actually, the word pumice comes from a Latin word meaning pumex, which actually means foam. And if you just looked at this, it almost looks kind of like a piece of foam. So this comes again out of a volcano, comes from lava. And you have the holes there, very light, meaning that its density is going to be much lower than that of water. You actually put this in water, it's going to float. Okay, so let's go to the next one. You heard me mention before gabbro. This is gabbro. Gabbro is an intrusive rock, so this one's going to form below the Earth's surface. You can see kind of a couple of crystals sparkling in there. It's very chemically similar to basalt. This one is very dense. Kind of you can't tell, but it's much more dense than the other rocks that we've looked at. Normally in color, it's greenish color. I don't know if you can totally make that out, but darker color. This particular one we find a lot of times in oceanic crust. All right, so these will be found like making the crust that's on the oceans. Next up, so let's kind of go through here. I'm going to go with here. This is granite. This one you're pretty familiar probably with. A lot of times we see this outside on black toppings and stuff. Very popular building material. And so this is going to be, again, another example of an intrusive rock. So this is going to form below the Earth's surface. And because it's formed underground, there's large crystals. You can kind of, again, if I hold this up, I apologize for the camera, but you can make out that there's some larger crystals in there. And because of that, it has a long time to be able to cool, creating much larger crystals. Okay. Again, this is garnet. This is granite. Okay. Let's do. This is basalt. You've heard me mention basalt before. Again, with basalt, this is another example of an extrusive rock. So again, this is going to form from lava that has cooled, but you can tell there's not a lot of holes in it. It's not very vesicular. It's non-vesicular. So therefore, it is going to end up being the result of when this cools quickly, very cooling quickly. I think I just misspoke by accident. But this is going to form when lava cools pretty quickly. Okay. Next up, this is the one that a lot of students find to be very familiar. This is called obsidian. All right, obsidian, very smooth. You can see it's smooth texture to it right there. Very shiny in a lot of ways. So obsidian is going to have a glassy texture to it. It's an extrusive rock again. So this is an extrusive rock. And it is one that does not give any time for any crystals to form. You can see that just by looking. There's no crystals in here, right? Very little in terms of that. A lot of times, if you go back to your history, these are going to be formed as a result of these are formed and used by like Native Americans to form arrowheads. So when they were making arrowheads, they would use a piece of obsidian. Okay, so that wraps up just a quick kind of just a couple of examples of different types of igneous rocks. Please make sure you go back, review your Earth Science reference tables. The most important thing that'll be able to help you out, be able to identify those different minerals. I'm sorry, those different igneous rocks. So if you need anything, let me know in the comment section in Google Classroom. Other than that, take care, good health, stay safe. Talk to you all later. Have a good one. Bye.